To wash here the musty, crusty, dirty camper, and I'm going to talk to you guys about real quick about panel vans and what came in them, because I had a question a while back, and a guy is trying to restore a camper, and there was basically a few different types of campers. I'll kind of go over those too. And he was trying to figure out why that they saw these vents and things like that. So in order to understand it, you have to understand about what the models were. Of course, all the campers usually were made with combi vans, and combi vans did not have a headliner. They did not have interior. So the reason that they had the combi van is it was just like a strippo model that you could put whatever you wanted in it, and they called them combi because it was combination of whatever different combination you wanted to put in it. You could use it as a camper or to carry people, and they were a little cheaper than the regular 11 window standard, which came with two-tone paint. The combi came with single color paint. So if you see guys that have a combi van that was two-tone, it could have been one of two things. It could have been, if it was original two-tone, it could have been an SO special model camper like this one is. This is a special model 23, the original Westphalia, or you could have had a special model, 34 or 42. So let's talk about real quick about panels. So the reason I started this video is about panels and why they have certain things. And one of the things you'll notice on a panel van that's not on others, and it's not on all panels, it's only on bench seat model panels, is you'll notice that they have a set of vents that go across the back upper portion. And the reason that they had those vents is because they had an option, and the option was on the bench seat model panel is you had an optional divider. So you in the bench seat model you could order the panel that had a whole piece that went across right here, and it had a window section in the middle, and some of them, like in the ambulances, were sliding windows, and some of them were just a hard finished window. And in order to keep them safe, when you have the optional window up here, now all this area has no ventilation because you have no windows back here, and there's no ventilation. So if there was a person back here, there would be no ventilation for them if you had the divider window. So in order to keep from having carbon monoxide poisoning, they had to put the vents up here. So that's why they had vents up above, to keep carbon monoxide poisoning from happening if you had passengers in the back. That's to just stop lawsuits. Okay, so the other thing that would happen that they had is, you'll notice if you look at the ones that had the walkthrough, they don't have those vents back there. And the reason they don't have those vents is because with the walkthrough you couldn't buy the optional divider. So it was, the walkthrough was designed for a driver to go back and go through the middle and get stuff out of the back, or whatever packages or whatever something is delivering, whatever milk or something, and then, or juice, or who knows what they were delivering, and then take it out the door here, or he could also use the cargo doors. But it was designed more for that. The ones that had the divider window were more designed for a person who's going to be doing large, deliveries, where they don't want the stuff to, go through the cab, and kill them if they, got, had to stop too quickly. So that was the whole reason behind those things. So if you kind of understand that, then you can kind of understand what was happening and why Volkswagen did some of the things they did. And it just kind of clarifies some of the real weird things that you might think are strange. And so a lot of the campers, okay, you had your special model campers, SO23, SO34, SO42. I think there's some others, but I'm not sure. Those are the ones I know of. And of course they came two-tone. You could get two-tone option. You could get a single color, but you could also get two-tone available in those. But if you had like a Caravelle camper, that was a U.S. company that was buying panel vans, and they would convert them into campers. So, of course, the interior and stuff is not German. It's not engineered the same as the old SO23 and SO34 and SO42. So these are a lot more desirable because of how the stuff was engineered inside. But you would notice that a lot of those were made with panel vans. So they put in the camper style windows. If you see, they have the slotted vent windows, or they have the ones that then they cut holes in the side of the panel van and put the windows in. You'll notice that they have the vents here. So a lot of people had the vents here, and then a lot of the camper companies didn't do a really good job of making sure that water wouldn't go in those vents, because typically the water will go down and won't go inside. But you know, if you're washing it, you know, water could go inside. So a lot of these had water damage in these areas here inside, because basically there's no place for the water to go. So, you know, if you're building one of those, you might want to take and, you know, put a piece of plexiglass and silicone it in place behind the vents if you're trying to keep it outside original, to keep the water from going inside. And if you have vented windows, you know, if you have window ventilation in the back, you can do that safely without having to worry about carbon monoxide poisoning, which is why that they put those there. So just a couple little information about panels and campers. Kind of gives you a little bit of go-to. You can do some more research on this stuff. I'm no expert at it. I'm just trying to tell you guys what I know and what things that I've found out over the years of owning one and building one. I didn't know a thing about them. I didn't even know what a SO23 was when I first started building this bus. You know, but I researched and found out what it was and became more interested in the history of it, because they're actually pretty unique. Okay, so anyway, I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Please like, share, and subscribe.